Well, our car's pretty much the way we left it when we pulled the engine. The weather hasn't been cooperating. It's been raining more this year than I think any other year. But we're going to go ahead and start stripping the engine compartment down. Go ahead and get ready to paint it, get it cleaned up so it looks pretty decent. What our plans are is to strip everything out, clean it, paint it, and for the engine compartment we're going to put back in an enamel. It tends to do a little bit better in the engine compartments, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, when you're stripping your car down, take special notice to whoever or whomever has been working on your car previously to you. As you can see, the front cover to the fan shroud, somebody has actually put the screw holes on top of the front of the, I guess, the front member there. But you know, just take a second look. This will give you an idea on who's been working on it and how competent they've been working on your car. Got the front of the nose off. Since we know we're going to go ahead and strip the body and repaint it, went ahead and took the front bumper off. Makes it easier to strip the horns, the fans, and everything out of it. So we're working the wiring harness out. I tend to leave everything connected as much as possible so that it helps when I go back to relocate the wiring harness. Also notice that the harness is in really good shape, hasn't been hacked on or cut on, except for the one spot for somebody's put an alternator kit on it. So moving right along, go ahead and work towards firewall. Got most of our wiring harness detached, and we have it strung out. Now the harness that goes to the rear tail light assembly, just unplug it. Don't get impatient. I've seen guys just hack on it, just cut a great wiring harness, not knowing it simply has disconnects up here by the fuse box. This won't come out any more than what it is, but it's still manageable to paint around. You know, you can throw it over the fender while I'm working on it. We're going to start working on the air box, getting it removed. I'm not going to do the transmission or cut the rest of the exhaust. It's just too wet and soggy on the ground. We're going to do all of our top work and see what else we can get done before it starts raining. Alright, we've got our heater box out, got the back firewall starting to be exposed. Looking pretty good. Don't forget to undo your cable inside. Do your heater control so you don't tear up your cable. But we're moving right along. We're going to go ahead, since it's Easter Sunday, we're going to take the grandkids out, do a little Easter egg hunt. Well, we have our engine compartment stripped out, looking pretty decent. As typical for these, the master cylinder's leaked and there's some corrosion that has to be taken care of by the master cylinder. I got to get the transmission still yet to come out, but it's all coming together, looking pretty good. Got our front area all stripped down, looking pretty good. So we're careful. The lines, you know, they're a little forgiving. You can't crimp them or bend them, but you can massage them to where you need to go. I'm not going to pull those rear lines out of there, but I am going to let them just hang. When I get the transmission out, I'll deal with it then. But all in all, looking pretty sharp. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to start prepping our engine compartment. Some basic things that I would suggest to purchase, under 20 bucks. A couple good scrub brushes, some degreaser, and I use mean green or simple green. What you want to do, where you have oil and stuff, go ahead and degrease it. Pressure wash it a couple times, get the large debris out. From the engine degreaser, it's like a kerosene based, so you're going to have to go back and use something to take that film off. And I use a simple green that does a pretty good job. And that way you won't have that film of grease or kerosene all over your engine compartment. Of course, paint won't stick to that. And these are just some basic steps on getting started. This is by no means the end result. Well, we went ahead and sprayed out the engine compartment, degreased it, took a scrub brush, worked all the heavy spots we initially saw. After just the first wash, it's considerably better. Everything's looking pretty clean. Now what you want to do is take your second can of degreaser, go back, hit all the trouble spots, you know, right there on the suspension. You know, go ahead and don't forget to turn over your steering wheel so you can get both sides of your steering rod. So we're going to go ahead and give it a second hit. Alright, we're after our third power washing. We're getting ready to put our simple green in and continue to get the engine compartment cleaned up. It's looking pretty nice. It's exposing all the rust where the mastic has came off over the years. We're going to have to put some new mastic on it. And just go ahead and finish getting him cleaned up. So it's starting to get a little shiny. And we'll look at it after we get our degreasing coat on. Alright, we just completed our last power wash of the engine compartment. Used our simple green, knocked off the residue and the film from our degreaser. It's going to look pretty good. What I'm going to do to demonstrate how effective this was, the suspension, I'm going to just take some Rust-Oleum and I'm going to just paint directly on there and show how well it did a good job. It won't curl, orange peel, or so forth. So, yeah, we're going to let our engine compartment dry out and come back out and play with it some more. Alright, we have our cross member painted, our rack painted, our steering column painted, or at least the arm for it. Just a simple dollar store paintbrush with Rust-Oleum. You know, of all the front ends I've done, I found this is just the simplest way to do it. Just get you a scratch pad, scratch up all the loose debris. With it being washed, it's not even bubbling up anywhere or with where the paint's not sticking. Looks like a pretty good job.